So we need yes, and we need no. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and const expr. Const expr jar pointer. Const expr jar pointer. Negative equals no. So simple here. We need to take input, so we need to std. So we need to take the so let's just go back up to the top. Ezio can manipulate at most X number of guards with the Apple of Eden. Given there are Y guards, predict if he can safely manipulate all of them. Blah blah blah. We have our input format. So it looks like this. We have a line that tells us how many more lines we care about, and then we get each line in order. Excuse me. We then have an output format, which we're going to be outputting yeses and nos. So it's pretty simple. A nice way to start out. Get used to this system. So I need to write my ingest code, and I don't remember if I haven't used this in a very long time. Pound include string sd string line. So we then have an int num lines, and I don't know if we can do int num1, int num2, but what we want to do is we then want to stdcin. And then we want to go something like this, something kind of silly like this. And also, I'm going to do some real quick self-advo. Do. Okay, there we go. Self promo. So this here we want to go, I is less than num lines plus I. So my thought here, I think we can stdcin into an int. What I don't know is if we can stdcin to an int if we have a space. Thank you for the follow, Valshao. And so this seems like it's a relatively simple answer. And I don't, if this is the right answer, I don't actually need string. And then I can go ahead and drop this. Let's see if I can zoom in for you guys. There we go. Get you guys a bit easier to read. Yeah. And if... That is wrong keys. If num1 is less than num2, std c out. Yeah, I think these c-ins are wrong. That just feels wrong to me. C out, negative. Well, I need to deal with that. Hello. Let me pull up my chat so I can actually take some control here. Hello, Jennifer. Just a second. Let me actually moderate my chat. Remove. Put user in timeout. Okay. Let's see if that works. C out negative, else std c out positive. Report. Well, yeah, I'm gonna see what I'm working on it. Thank you, She Listens, for your help. Let's see if that does enough. My moderator got my moderator made it. But and honestly, I'm just gonna let's feel less dumb. Yes. Or that should be no. That's just yes. And this is something that I don't know. So let's just do it. Yay! Initializer before... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I can't initialize to that. Really? Oh, right. I did the exact same thing right up there. And let's just see how... Oh. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I need to handle this differently, which means research. C in C++, C in to int. What? Oh, okay. See, these are things that I have not used standard SGC in since forever ago. Since college, pretty much. We don't do any command line interaction. So, I was just thinking, it seemed right to me. And let's see if that's all unhappy. But today we are doing no, yes, yes. Okay, so we are correct, and now we just need to do std new line. SD new line? Is that a thing? People plus new line. STP standard library. I don't want NDL is wrong. Really? No, there's a. Is it SD NDL? Oh, is it STD NDL? And this is why. This here is why. Everything. Everything is pain. There we go. Hey, look. A simple simple code for a simple problem. 542 or 5452. Is there something I could do less than that? I need to store these ints because I can't compare the cin to cin. And I need to store this num line so I can do that properly. Yeah, no, I'm happy with this code. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and change these names. This here is enters XY. X is number of guards. Y is X is number of manipulations. Y is num guards. Num manips. Manips. Num guards. And this is something that I'm trying to get better at, is using good variable names to end with. So, but now we should be able to submit that and just consider it good. And look, 100% accuracy. Yes, there was a bot. Did they not get all deleted? Like, how bad is it? Actually, how bad is it? Okay, but that is problem 1 done. Let me make sure my phone's muted. Good. And check chat, because that's all I really care about is chat on my phone. Ah, yes, that's what it looks like. Okay. Yay. Okay. So that's 1. So that's a 427. So let's just go up the rating list. Like go to higher ratings every time. Cause I can. Ugh. So 427, let's go ahead and just jump up to like 500. Cause I'm probably gonna be. And hi Bryson. I'm probably gonna be in this range, just based on what I can guess. So honestly, I could probably jump up to here. Cooler Dilemma 2, 800. Yeah, let's jump up to 800. The summer is at its peak in Chefland. Chef is planning to purchase a water cooler to keep his room cool. He has 2 options available. Rent a cooler at the cost of X coins per month. Purchase a cooler for Y coins. Maximum number of months for which he can rent a cooler so that the cost of renting is strictly less than the cost of purchasing. Okay. So we have test case number, so that's going to be a pretty standard thing we need to care about, is number of test cases, and then we have an input. Yeah, so our left input is going to be daily, or like rent cost, and this here is buy cost. Okay, that's pretty simple. So let's go ahead and work on that. So to start with, we then have a very simple int num lines std cin num lines for int I equals 0. I is less than num lines plus plus I. And then we have an int, and this here is rent cost, std cin rent cost, and then we have an int buy cost, std cin buy cost. And then we just return, we want to std cout, and then we want we honestly just want buy cost divided by rent cost std endl. Wow, this code is super simple. Two, one. That one is a fun little edge case right there. So, something that I can do is do buy cost minus 1. And so by doing buy cost minus 1 here, we are making it so that we are... But the problem is going to be... Okay, that's where that problem comes in. So... the simplest way to handle this edge case is if buy cost is equal to or less than rent cost, which is really less than or equal to rent cost, std cout 0 std endl, continue. And that will be the correct value, the correct output. So the reason that we're doing this is because it is cheap when it's 5 and 5, when it costs 5 to rent and costs 5 to buy, it is cheaper to buy that first day. So if buy cost is less than or equal to rent cost, then ... Otherwise, if rent cost is greater than it, then this divide works. Because well, and that's the other thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, hey, wait a second, that's wrong. Because if yeah. So I then need to do here a if buy cost or buy cost mod rent cost equals 0, we do the same thing, but we subtract by 1. Nope. Minus 1. And that's the correct answer. So the reason for that, and I was talking through this, and that's why I was trying to put it all into this place right down here, was because if it is the same, I'm confused. Okay, let me take another look at this. Strictly less. And so I'm just like buy cost divided by rent cost minus 1, right? If buy cost mod rent cost equals 0, so if buy cost is an exact multiple of rent cost, if buy cost is an exact multiple of rent cost, so let me take a step back here. Let's go ahead and do like 10 or like a 5, 10. And let's see what answer I'm getting. Yeah, that should be right. Oh, but you're getting 2. What? Why is that? What? If buy cost is less than or equal to rent cost, do this. I need this continue. I think there's just a minor bug in here. Nope, we are... I'm confused. I should be getting 3 outputs. There should be a 0 in that last line. What? What? Because this is a 2, this is a 1, and this is a 0. Why isn't there a 0 on that line? I'm confused. Just try that. I don't know. Make it explicitly a string. So let me just stc out std. I don't want the end L. I want a space at the end of this. This here is a buy less than or equal to rent by mod rent standard by standard rent. Let's just see how this is looking, because... Oh, oops. That's why. by mod rent 1. There we go. Okay. Those are the 3 cases I can think of. So let's go ahead and let's try this submission one more time and get it wrong. There we go. Okay. Cool. Bit more complicated. So that 846 right there, that's the highest rating here. I don't know. Let me go ahead and pull that up on my other screen. Because I don't actually know what gets shown on that page. Yeah, there's some... Yeah. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back, Jealous. We are coding today. So that I've done the second highest level in this low beginner. So let's go ahead and just jump up to like 3-star. Because this is boring. And pairwise XORs, distinct pairs. Let's see what this one is. Chef has 2 integer sequences, A through AN and B through BM. You should choose N plus M minus 1 pairs in each the form AX, BY, so the sums AX, BY are all pairwise distinct. So what's our input? Example input, so we have 3, 2. So we get line 1 is going to tell us how long each of the next 2 lines are. And then you're saying 2, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So what does pairwise distinct mean? What is that definition? A collection of k items are pairwise distinct if no 2 items of them are equal to one another. 1, 2, 3 are pairwise distinct, but 1, 1, 3 are not. Okay, so we're looking for... So that's a question I would ask in an interview there. I would say, I don't know off the top of my head exactly what pairwise distinct means. It seems like it's saying that that there's no 2 items the same in the list. Is that true? And so here all sums need to be distinct to create the correct output. Whew. That's a fun one. I don't really feel like writing that. Let's look at this one. There is a field with plants, a grid with n rows numbered 1 through n, and m columns numbered 1 through m. Out of its nm cells, k cells contain plants while the rest contain weeds. 2 cells are adjacent if they have a common side. You want to build fences in the fields in such a way so that the following conditions hold for each cell that contains a plant. It is possible to move from this cell to each adjacent cell containing a plant without crossing any fences. It is impossible to move from this cell to any containing weeds or to leave the grid without crossing any fences. Okay. So this is a graphing, or this is so we then are, what's our input? Number of test cases. Okay. First line of each test cases, NMK is, then K lines follow. So this gives us our size of our graph, our size of our grid, and then K tells us the number of lines. So what we're going to then do, 20, and then we're returning the minimum required length of fences. Yeesh. I mean, I know I doubled the difficulty, but that's big. Well, it is 1609. Pairwise XORs. JJ gives Chef number X and challenges Chef to come up with 3 distinct numbers A, B, and C so that they're greater than 0 and less than 2 to the 30th. A XOR B plus B XOR C plus C XOR A equals X. Okay then. So 6, 3, 20. Wow. Okay, but okay, let's go and go back a little bit. Let's go back to 2 star. Let's just look at this first one. Average array. You're given 2 integers n and x. Output an array A of length n so that less than a negative 1,000 greater than 1,000, or less, sorry, greater than negative 1,000 less than 1,000 for all items. All items are distinct. Mean of A are x. So we are creating a list of items that will be average out to a number. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do this one. So we have an input of 3 test cases. Test cases follow, and so we need 3 and 7. So we have an array of 3 items that need to average out to 7. We have an array of 5 items that need to average out to 1. And we need an array of 1 item that averages out to 10. Okay. Okay, that's... yeah. We can do that. And here we are. First things first. Int num tests. cin num tests for int I equals 0. I is less than num tests plus plus I. Yay! So we then have our bog standard int num items, cin num items, and int average val. cin to average val. So there's one thing to think about here. So if we have, so let's just like, if we have one item, the item is the average because we're dividing by 1. If we have 2 items, the items have to add up to 2 times average, dividing by 2. So essentially, what we're doing is we need to make logic that adds up to the multiple of the average. So what we want is we then want a int total val equals average val times num items. Yeah. So now we have, that should be all the information that we need right there. We have our total, like we have what we have to add up to. We have, I hope the spammers stay away too. And so what we're looking at here, is we need code. Well, for one, if num items equals 1. If num item equals 1, cout average val endl. That's our special case here. That's our special case. So this one, so our case 2 will now work. And this needs to continue. Case 2 now works. Case 1 and case 3. Wait, no. Case 3 now works. Case 1 and case 2 need a bit more work. So and those both are gonna, like, nope. Those are both gonna need the total val for them. So this here is done. There's that. If we have 2 plus n times dividing by n. Let's just make n capital here so it's obvious that we're talking about a. So, to do that, we need logic. We need some logic. So, if num items mod 2 equals 1, we have an odd number of items. Else, otherwise we have an even number of items. So this is important because an odd number of items means that we include the average value, and an even number of items means we skip it. So what we're going to do is we are going to then we then need one more thing. We need an int half items equals num items divided by 2. And I'm putting it up there because we need both of those. And honestly, we don't actually need total val. Total val is just a thinking process. So here I can get rid of that. So here, what we want, if we have an odd number of items, we then want for, like, and honestly, the deal is gonna just be here. For int num equals average val minus half items, num is less than average val plus half items, num plus, or plus num. And so here we're going to be doing relatively, it should just be a cout num space, and if we have an odd number of items, if num items mod 2 is not equal to 1, like let's just say equals 0, continue. Simplify the code, and then we go cout endl. You had 5 items, and you had 3 items. What? -1 0 1 2. So let's just cout endl. Let's try that. I'm sorry, what? Oh, less than or equal to. So yeah, 6, 7, 8 is even. And so let's go ahead and do... Nope, not that. We want 2, 10, and go up here and make this 4. Oh, whoops. If num equals average val and there we go. Skipping 9 because skipping 10 because 2 is even. Yeah, okay. That's good. I can get rid of this line and then just submit. And I think we're good now. Oh, look, we did it. Yay. First try. That was a fun one, a fun little thing. It's really simple when it comes down to it, though, and that's what made that nice. But the idea behind this solution was quite simply that when you're building an average, you can just easily just splay the numbers evenly around what you're averaging to. And so this line here, this line right here, if we have an even number of items, we can't include the item itself, because then we can't. Well, we can, but it takes more effort to get to the correct average. Whereas if we just splay it, 2 numbers on either side in this case, or 1 number on either side, you know, it is what it is. Yay! So, why do you want me to be doing this difficulty? I was doing 2-star beginners. Yeah, 2-star beginners. Prime sum. Let P denote a sequence of n prime numbers so that the sum of the sequence is A. Let Q denote B. Maximum absolute difference between PI and QJ among all blah, 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 blah. Nope. Nope, I don't feel like dealing with primes. Primes are annoying. ICCT. N is the size of the chessboard. So on a chessboard of 3, I don't quite understand. Number of squares with odd length. Because horizontal rod of size. No, I don't understand that question. Chef likes to mix colors a lot. Recently, she was gifted N colors, A through AN, by her friend. Wants to make values of all her colors pairwise distinct as... Choose any two colors. Let's denote their values by X and Y. Mix the color X into the color value Y. After mixing the... So 2, 3, blah blah blah, 3, blah blah blah. How many mixes need to be done to make it? Huh. Interesting. So let's go ahead and just work on this. I think that should help. You. Okay. No. Can I C++, please? Okay, C++ 14 it is. Big difference. Whoa. Int. So our layout is... So int. Num tests equals num tests cin num tests for int test equals 0. Test is less than num tests. Test or plus plus test. Okay. So now we need to get an ingest. So we now need a int pointer. So we're gonna... We then need an int num colors equal, or num colors cin num colors. And now we need a int pointer color re equals new int num colors. And then we need a for color equals 0 color is less than num colors plus plus color. So what we're doing here then is this here is just our generic our ingress or our ingest. So what I'm thinking is that instead of just a straight up array, now I want this array for doing work to it. So I need to do this ingest work anyway, but we then do color re color, and we just do cin to there. So this here is our ingest, our input handling. So our next step inside of input handling, well, we also need to then delete color re. So I'm thinking that the best way to do this is to use a map, is what I'm thinking. And so it's like C++ std map. And just make sure I know what I'm doing. CPP reference, good. So you SD string int. So I really just need an int, which is an int map. An int map. And this here is distinct colors. And what we're going to do is in this loop that we're doing this, we are going to so I don't need to output an array of distinct colors. I just need to output how many changes need to be done to create an array of distinct colors. Okay. So I think that the answer there is I do still need to do distinct colors dot add dot insert dot insert color re color, and this here is an if distinct colors. So what we're doing here is we are putting in logic to I don't have try in place as an option. So what happens if I do this? Sorry. Do we have a dot contains dot a dot at? I'm really frustrated that I can't use C++17 here because it gives me the thing that I want. Because what I want is I want insert or I want try in place. So yeah, I can't use try in place, which means that I would need to find I would then get end. So dot find color re color is not equal to end. So this logic here is pretty much saying if our array, if our map doesn't contain the color, then we do this. And otherwise, we also need a map int of indistinct colors. So this one is then going to be indistinct colors dot indistinct colors how do I do this logic? So what I'm trying to do is this one's gonna be an int and actually be meaningful because it's going to map the color to the number of times that it was seen in an indistinct way. So I need to do that if nope. And I need to do this same thing indistinct colors, and I need to do this, except it's instead going to be set to 1. Else, this is going to get set to indistinct colors. So otherwise, indistinct colors, color re color is going to ++. So now we are getting our information. And I can just store a bool up here. Indistinct equals false equals true if not found indistinct. C out 0 endl continue. We don't need color re anymore. After this point, we don't need color re, and that just deals with this cleanup step. And so now we need to iterate across. We now are going to need to iterate Yeah, we're now going to do for auto color in, not in distinct colors. So for color and indistinct colors, we care about color dot key and color dot val. This feels wrong. This feels wrong. This feels like I'm going a wrong path right now. I can make it work going this path, but it feels like I'm doing something overly complicated. So a more correct path is probably going to be so I'm thinking let's take a step back. We are caring about we're caring about So we're caring about the number of changes that we have to make every item distinct. So what does that mean? What does every item being distinct look like to us? That looks like having the same number of items in distinct colors as we have in that means having the same number of items in our distinct colors map as we have in our other map, in our blah 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 map, whatever it is. In as we have numbers of num colors, and so like the dumb answer would be to say, oh, the number of indistinct colors that we find, that's the number of steps we need to take. Well, that's not guaranteed, because we could have 5 ones. And if we have 5 ones, we can add 1, and then we have... Well, no, that would still be 5 steps, wouldn't it? It would be 4 steps, wouldn't it? It would be 4 steps, because if we had... Let me just go into a comment here and start writing this down. So if we had 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, our 5 step would be to add 1 plus 1 equals 2. So we would then have 1, 1, 2, 1. So then we would have, boop, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. And then we can... And then we can then go 1 plus 2 equals 3. And we'd have 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 1. That seems right to me. So I do need to keep track of our distinct colors. And so all we would do to make this is we would add for every time we find an indistinct color, we would add the largest number that we have available. So if I were to make this array, I would just add the largest number every time. Yeah, I would add the largest number every time that we are... Yeah. So we just need the number of indistinct colors. That's literally all we need to do this. Because if you're always adding the biggest possible number you have to it, then you are guaranteed to be making a distinct color. Cool. Great. So that means that I can get rid of this. See, and that is why. So we can do this. And where's indistinct colors defined? Yeah, I think I already delete it? Accidentally? Int indistinct colors equals 0. Colors plus plus. And honestly, I don't need that found indistinct. I'll just do cout indistinct colors. Let's try that out. This needs to be int color. There we go. Simple, right? Let's just make this 1, I suppose. I don't actually know what's going on right there. What's my... I need to... What line in my... Insert. So my insert call is breaking, is causing problems. Just say... Do I need to dereference that color? Let's just look at insert. Can I just do in place? Can I just do in place? Three. What? I hate this freaking... Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. So I don't have a good answer. I don't understand. So what's happening here is that we are yeah, so like found 1 in map, found 2 in map, found 3 in map, found 1 in map, found 2 in map, found 1 in map. So we are... Oh. See? Logic. Logic bomb. There we go. Yay, we did it. Okay. Yeah, I was overcomplicating that by quite a bit right there. So I'm thinking about what I could actually cut out of here. So like I do need this color RE, so I can... I actually don't need the color array, actually. I can just do int color val, color val, color val. Because we don't actually need to keep track of what the... Yeah, we don't actually need to keep track of the individual color array. We just need to, well, pretty much do what we're doing here. So I can now submit, make that simpler. Because we didn't end up actually using that array anywhere. Better solution. Better solution. Nice. Okay. Cool. Solve another problem. And by that, I mean come back here. There we go. Yeah, this would put me in Division 2, or sorry, Division 3, if I was doing these consistently. So, next step. Next problem. Let's go ahead and reload this one, because I can. We did it! So, that's the next thing, is... So now that we have a better idea of what... Yeah, now that we have a better idea of what this should look like... Oh. Okay. Let's go a bit harder. Knows that there are n questions. So for each question, we'll number of test cases. N and W, number of questions, how much time he has to study. 3 questions, 7 minutes to study. The next N lines give... What? Sorry. So we have... Line 1 tells us how many tests we have. Line 2, how many questions we have and how many minutes we have. So we then have CIPITI. Number of tests, number of points, amount of time he needs to study. Okay, so we need to... one times 2 and 3 times 3. So this is the total point value of each question. So we don't actually care about these in separately. We just want those multiplied together. Okay. First things first, let's get working on this. Nope, give me C++. I'm not, I hate Python. I hate Python. Int num tests. Cin num tests for int test equals 0. Test is less than num tests plus test. And so inside of here, we then have num questions and minutes to study. Int num questions, int minutes to study. And so our num questions, so we want cin num questions, and then cin minutes to study. And then we want for int question equals 0. Question is less than num questions. Question plus. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we then have int Let's just call it molt1 and int molt2 cin molt1. It really doesn't matter. Cin molt2. And then we have int question val equals molt1 times molt2. And we will have int study time is cin study time. I see that typo right there. So what we care about is we care about question value and study time. So we want the we want to have the most valuable study time. So what that tells me is that we are looking for a weighted. So this is we want a weighted array sort of thing. This is the path I would go. We would want a weighted array. So we want to put most value for the least time. Most value for the least time. So how to go about that nicely? So the simple answer in my head to get most value for least time is to make an array of. So we want, we're looking for like points per minute. So we want points per minute. Points per minute is what we care about. No, stop. So we want int. Honestly, we want to like a float up. ppm equals question val divided by study time. So my thoughts here are that we are looking for a specific. I messed up. We're not. Sorry, I'm doing like two things at once right now. I should not be, but I am. So we're looking for points per minute, and we want a points per minute weighted question. So 11. What we're returning is the maximum number of points that he can get. So we want a points per minute weighted array. An array sorted by points per minute that also has our actual question val and our study time. So we then let's go ahead and make a struct question. Let's just call this a let's just call it a question obj, or just strct. And so we then need this float points per minute. We need this int, which is value. Let's call it point value. And we want this int, which is study time. So we now need a vector. Is it a vector the right answer? I'm very tempted to do a binary tree in this case, so it's automatically sorted. Does that actually make sense? I don't know. The issue here is that it just needs to be sorted, and that's really all that I'm running into is in my head. So it needs to be sorted, so that's simple. Not necessarily simple, but that's a simple idea. So we then need a sorted an array sorted by points per minute. So there's multiple ways to do a sorted array. A pretty simple step there. Not necessarily simple, but actually. So then we want like a operator greater than. Less than. I don't remember that. So let's just look up C++ sorted array. Okay. Sorry, my brain is... These are muscles I haven't stretched in a while. Okay, so... You real quick finish dealing with what I've been dealing with. Do. Okay. So, a sorted array. We need an array, and we need to use a sort function. I think an array makes the most sense since a binary sort, like a sorted tree. We care about the highest value, not the middle value, so we'd have to then traverse the tree to get to the highest value, whereas with an array, we don't. So then we can make a question struct pointer as a questions equals new. And honestly, let's do this for real. Let's do a pound include vector. Why are you doing that? I would just want vector. There we go. So we want vector of question struct questions. And then in here we have a question data. Value equals that. And we can just do this into question data dot study time. And then question data dot points per minute equals that. So we have to do this by itself, but that's not a big deal. And then we want questions dot, and then we want std vector. Learn what I learn, like relearn this stuff, because I don't get to use standard libraries in my day-to-day life. This is so frustrating. Yeah. So we just want a insert, or just do a pushback. Yeah, just do a pushback. Question data. And then just do std vector sort. And let's just do this. Really? Okay, no, that's right. That's that. There we go. Yeah, so that's all just that. So it is sort v do. Okay, so I want sort which means that this needs to have a, I'm going to need to include algorithm. And I think what your problem is going to be is that is the values that the things I don't have implemented in that structure. Oh, yep, that's a problem. Oh, So just thinking about this. And then there's one more study time. And this study time. Da, da, da. Can I get more of this, please? Yeah, we need an operator less than. Okay, we need an operator. operator less than, which that needs to be, come on. Hey, welcome to the channel. Buzz off, bot. One other thing. Report. Thank you. Gee, thanks, YouTube. Just grab this example. But we need an operator less than, which means that you need an operator less than we just need a bool operator less than, and we want to question struct reference that. If points per minute are less than that dot points per minute, return true. If points per minute is greater than that dot points per minute, return false. And then at this point, if study time is if study time is greater than that dot study time, return true, else return false. So my thoughts here are that in this process, we want the highest points per minute first, but then we want for the same points per minute, we want the question that's going to take less time to study. And that way we can maximize our points per minute. So let's go ahead and see if this will run. Successfully executed. Good. And so now I need to go... Excuse me. I need to go ahead and reverse iterate this vector. Okay, so I then need a... It's like... And it's just I haven't done this in long enough. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Right there. So then I should be able to... I'm going to pull this over to my other monitor just real quick. And so we then want size t index equals v dot size minus 1. Because this is good code here. For auto arit equals questions dot r begin arit is not equal to questions dot r end plus plus arit and minus minus index. I don't actually think I need the index here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that because it doesn't actually, it's not going to help me. And so now we have minutes. So if arit dot so you want int points like available points equals 0. Maybe when you're a bit older, I don't like there's a maturity level that I require for mods. If arit dot dot minutes to study is less than minutes to study, minus equals this. Equals or minus equals that. Available points plus equals arit dot point value. C out available points endl. Let's see how bad this goes. Okay, how do we use iterators in C++ again? Just vector iterator. Oh, it's dereference, not that. Get so close, and then, yeah, it's so far away. Run. What? 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 That's annoying. Why doesn't it just work? I don't understand. Normal iterator, question struct, dude. You're just saying has no member, but right. What did I name it? Study time. See. Grumble. That's like big problems in Braintown. Are we happy now? No. No. Why? Why? I wish I had my IDE right now. I'm fed up with this. 11. 11. That's what you say it should be. Let's try it. Test case 4. How can people write code like this? That's just... I assume that these are all just standardized functions that they've written normally, and they just drop in when they use them. Huh. Okay, that doesn't actually help. that's just... Is there going to be something more reasonable here? Nope. Okay, we're done. We're done with this one. I'm... Grumble, grumble, grumble. I don't... So what I'm trying to do is I'm calculating a points per minute that we then sort by. And so by sorting by that points per minute, we are able to then be as efficient as possible in selecting which questions to study. So let's try just 2, and then we go and give it like 8 minutes. I think that should give it the same. So what's our edge cases? Being able to do everything shouldn't be an edge case. That should just work with this. My goodness, I want... Doesn't, according to my numbers, nobody else is around, but I don't know. That's not the people watching isn't actually the goal of today's stream. My goal for today's stream is to be practicing this, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Ba, 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 ba. Point. I got the 11 right. I got the one that the test case they gave me right. So I'm just gonna give up. Giving up on it. So, what next? Gonna try something like, let's just see what this is. And welcome to the lurking crew. So our input is number of test cases, obviously. Each test case in 2 integers and an m. M integers. So our n is number of soldiers. M is rounds. The next line is for each round the position he chose. For each round, the position that was chosen. Okay. So, for each round, the position that was chosen. So we're then, let's go and start working on this. Let's get some logic written. So before we get started writing logic, we care about, so inside of each of the tests, what are we doing? We are, number one, so for the first thing in each test, we are so looking at these numbers, we have one test, which means that we can put out just that one. With the next one, we have two tests, which I'm doing okay. I'm not doing as well as this as I thought I would. But at the same time, I haven't done just coding problems in a long time. And yeah. So our current problem is a question is pretty much given a set of inputs, so we have n soldiers, we have a line of soldiers, and one soldier is going to, and soldiers to either side of that soldier are going to have bigger numbers given to them each step away. So we're looking for the absolute value. So for each round, we want the absolute value of the soldier number minus the selected soldier. So absolute value of, so like on this one, of 0 minus 1 is -1 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, gives him 1. So that's how we get these values for each round. And then we want the... This, yes, I will be writing C++. It says right here. Yeah, for each round, we want the absolute value of the soldier number, the selected minus the selected soldier, and then we output the max value of number 1 for each soldier. So first things first, let's just get our base code in. So this is int test count and cin test count for int test equals 0, test is less than test count plus test. So this here is our actual inside of the test, and then we have 2 tests, and then this here is our test condition. So we then have 4 soldiers and 1 round. Yeah, it's a little bit different from C++, but the way I should be writing C++ shouldn't actually look that different from C#. So this might remind you of some things. No. So we have an int, which is soldier count, and then cin soldier count. And we also have an int round count and cin round count. So we then have a for int soldier equals 0. Soldier is less than soldier count and plus soldier. So we need to do a loop across n, and then we need a loop across m. But what's the most efficient way we can do this? The most efficient way, we don't actually need to calculate that absolute value. We just need to calculate the furthest distance. That's the absolute value. Brain. So the furthest distance away from soldier. No, this is me getting prepped for an interview on Monday and Tuesday, or a set of interviews on Monday and Tuesday. This is my job. I'm a programmer by trade. So this is my technical. This is my interview prep, and I'm streaming it because I can. So we need for int round equals RND. Let's do RND equals 0. RND is less than round count plus RND. Okay, so the simplest answer that I have is NM, or is is gross complexity here, but this is the solution that my brain sees. So we then need to, for each soldier, and then we also need, since we're doing this soldier-wise, we can just have an int max num equals 0. I can do that there. And then we can do std, I can do cout max num, and then out here cout endl. Okay, so that there leaves just this. So we then want math pound include math. C++ absolute value. Just make sure that I ABS CMath. You know what, let's just do that. CMath. Well, the thing is, as a programmer, my job isn't really to know the ins and outs of my own of even my own programming language. Sure, like the thing is, I don't write this code. In my experience writing code professionally, I have never used absolute value. Not once. I haven't written an absolute value since I'm 25. But no, I haven't written an absolute value since college. Absolute, and it's and so you then want int this here is round pose cin round pose. And so this is then round pose minus soldier. Nope, minus soldier. So I then just want to do int round num round val equals at, and so if how did I do that? If round val is greater than max num equals round val. One 501 210. That seems wrong. I must have messed something up. That 1501 is not correct. But yeah, no, my job is not to know everything about the programming language. My job is to be able to solve problems. And right now, I'm seeing that there's a pretty big problem. So, I do like programming. That's duh. I see what I did wrong there. Okay, so I have to do this differently. I have to do soldiers inside of rounds, which is not the direction I wanted to go. Or I just do this. Pound include vector. And then I do an SA vector of int. And this here is rounds. And then we do for. We then do this. And then we go around. We want this. But this needs to be clean. Shift tab. Round pose. And then we do rounds dot push back round pose. And now here, instead of this, we then do for auto, I just do int round of rounds. And it's here, I'm gonna change this to round pose. That should be better. But yeah, I do like programming. One oh one two 3 2 1 1 2 3. Yeah, so that's right. So now the only question is if I can make it more efficient. Why? Why? The only question here is now efficiency. Do I need to have a better efficiency on my test cases? And I exceeded my time limit. That's what I thought. So now I need to make this more efficient. So how do I do that? So the thing that I know, what do we know? What do we know about this problem? We know... It's like, how can we get this in one step? How can we do this in less steps than we're currently doing? So one thing that we know is we know that let me just so there's nothing explicitly declared outright, but the way, if you look on the internet for the position that I'm looking to get, it says a reasonable expectation. A reasonable expectation is a salary of mid 100Ks, mid 100,000, with a total remuneration, total pay, or total value of pay, a decent bit higher than that. So now we're looking for efficiency. The problem is solved. So we need to cut this down. We need to cut this down so that it's not so much. So one thing to know is, so we have an edge case. We have an edge case to think about. If our zeros are at the far, like if our points are at the far end of either side, then that's going to cause a problem with some of my logic that I'm thinking of. Well, I'm in the US. And being a programmer is like, I'm just gonna say, being a programmer, if you can get into the right companies, is by far one of the most valuable jobs you can get. So we can't do an M loop here. We need N plus M at most. Like we want N plus N. So yeah, but that value is more than, it would be more than double my current pay would be. So it's not a small job I'm applying for. So we don't want to do an M loop inside of N, because that's, Sure. For where I'm living, the amount of pay, let me just say this. For where I'm living, the amount of pay that I would be getting would be equivalent to an average doctor in my current town. Like I'd be getting I would expect to be getting about the same pay as an average doctor would. Potentially more, depending on what they do. So, round val less than max num. So, we need to take this and make it simpler. So, what happens if we have... So, this 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, that's a level of... I don't have an answer for how to make it faster. It's a problem. This is where my problem comes. This is stuff that this is stuff I never got good at. Was yeah. And I'm already okay. Then yeah, I'm already taking home significantly more than that. Of course, I also have a lot of college debt, so I think is there a way that I can do this in one step? In one step in the M loop. Because I could do an MN loop, but I don't like that. I don't like doing an MN loop because it's no different from being an NM loop. Just flipping it around is not helpful. So, let's start talking some of this out loud. How can we make this better? How can we do caching to use memory instead of processing time? How can we use memory instead of processing time here? So, what memory is usable? Like what can be stored off? So I think... So what if we go to... What if we sort rounds? What if we do this? Sort... No, I did not get to study for free. Very few people, like, usually the only people who study for free are people who bring something to the college. So that's athletes and like musicians and stuff like that. People who can bring something that the college sees as valuable. Rounds.start or rounds.begin, rounds.end. I think. Sort vector. Just remember this. Yeah, it's .begin, .end. That's what I thought it was. So we then sort that. And so now that we have a sorted set of rounds, what does that mean? Since we have a sorted set of rounds, we can loop across rounds, build array in order. So we then do for int round pose in rounds. For int soldier for int soldier equals 0, soldier is less than soldier count plus soldier. So now I don't want to do this. I want to do a standard int round R&D. R&D is less than rounds.get size. Sorry, did I not answer the question? I did not. I was not able to study for free. What was I? Yeah, the question of studying for free is usually whether you bring something of value to the college beyond just studying there. And usually that value isn't monetary, it's glory. Because having glory from sports ends up bringing more students to a college generally on average. And so that allows for the college to make more money in other areas. Okay, so now I want if absolute value of rounds round minus soldier is less than absolute value of rounds round plus 1 minus soldier break. And this here is also if round plus 1 is less than rounds dot size. Ah, okay. And so I want an int, like round val equals. And so we want to do this calculation only once. C out round val. And then we want to, outside of that, C out endl. And get rid of that, and let's try that. Oh, I need pound include algorithm. Ah, yeah. No, you're fine. Feel free to be curious. I'm happy to have 1012321012. That is wrong. Oh. That's why this is wrong. That's why this logic is wrong. Okay, so the logic I just wrote is wrong because we do a skip as soon as we get to a point where we are lower than our next one. But that's making the assumption that that the one we're on isn't going to actually raise the next one. So how do we work around that? How do we work around that? That being said, I think I need to order in some lunch to get here in a while, because I am going to be taking a quick break at the top of the hour. So I need to fix my short circuit. So my early out is wrong. But we're in order, which means that we have more control over what we do. This is honestly just an edge case if round plus 1 is less than rounds dot size, and round plus and rounds round plus 1 equals rounds round plus that is gross looking code, but yeah, so I need to do one of these in the reverse order. I need to flip one of these, and the easier thing to flip is stepping through the rounds. -1 is greater than or equal to 0. -1 equals size is greater than or equal to 0 minus round. How bad did I break that? 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? And out here, int soldier equals 0. Three, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 0, 1, 2. Well, I think that's more efficient. We're looping across the set of soldiers once. We have an early out, which causes us to go to the next round. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Darn it. No. No. What do you have today? Gonna be distracted ordering lunch for a little bit. None of those look like they're what I want. Okay. So let's do like 10 and like 3. And then let's just go 1, 5, 5, 10, 9, 0, 5, 9. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8, 9. That. Okay, there's your problem, guys. Oh. 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 We don't care about all of our rounds, we just care about our maximum and our minimum round. Oh. Oh. Int max round equals int max. What do we say our maximum? Say max int min round equals 0. No. Equals 0 max int. I didn't need to get rid of all of that. If so the reason that we can do this, max round is less than round pose, is because max round equals round pose. So the reason that we can do this, if min round is greater than round pose, min round equals round pose. So the reason that we can do this, let me actually get to that statement. The reason we can do this is because we are looking at the maximum and the minimum on this, because anything in the middle is going to be blown out by the maximum and the minimum. And so what we can then do is we can then do rounds.push back, and we want this to be sorted, so we want min round, max round, like push back, min round, rounds.push back, max round. And I don't technically need to do this, but it makes the code easier. Yeah, so I then need max, like C++ max int. It's int max, not max int. See how smart I am. Int max. Run. What? C++ int max. Something's wrong with that one. 1012 987655678 Yes. Okay, so what's up with you, middle guy? Why are you getting... How did I... How... So let's do C out, min round, C out, max round. Run. That was that. 2309. But if I take that out, what? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Oh, it would help if I did that in the right place. There we go. Excuse me? Yay, I have a Heisenberg. Okay. Something is going in bad when I'm doing this. Push back, push back. I do that, is it better? No, something is going in wrong. Like, wrong. If I don't touch that data... Okay, this is a... If... will that fix the Heisenbug without... Nope, that doesn't fix the Heisenbug. But this fixes the Heisenbug. Well, this is fun. So how do I fix this Heisenbug? I think I fix this Heisenbug by just... by getting rid of this altogether. Yeah. Get rid of this loop because we don't actually need it. So then, round equals... Sorry, let's do... And here, this here is just going to be int round equals min round. Min round. max round minus soldier. And this shouldn't be min round, this should just be round. And this here is and this int soldier equals 0 can be moved into here now. So if round equals min round, round equals max round, round val equals absolute round and round minus soldier, and get rid of the break. Let's try that. Just simplify it. Nope. 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. Oh, let's do this more. Let's do this the way I was actually doing it. Max, max, min, min. I flipped the logic when I simplified it. There. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. There we go. That should fix it. Heck yeah! Heck yeah! Oh, that was good. Okay. That being said, I think I'm actually going to call this a bit earlier than I was originally intending, so that I can take a quick break, get prepped for my next stream at 2, which is in about an hour and a half. It's going to be Breath of the Wild, and that's a 2-hour stream, and then we're going to take another break to get prepped for my next coding stream. So, yeah. I feel okay. I feel really good about figuring this one out. That was it. A lot of times when it comes to making an algorithm faster, the goal is to figure out what parts of the calculation aren't important anymore. So, you know. But thank you for watching. I know that this was a bit of a weird stream, and if you actually stuck around and watched the whole thing, thank you. If you even watched any portion of it, thank you. I hope you enjoyed your time. I'll be doing more of this later today, but first a break, and I'll be switching over to Breath of the Wild for 2 hours, and then after that there'll be another break, and then back to coding, because coding, yay, coding, woo, woo. So thank you, and goodbye.